Good morning. We're wrapping up our mystery unit. You have learned a ton about reading mysteries. What you didn't quite know is that while you were learning how to read mysteries, you were really learning some essential reading skills for reading any kind of fiction. So in today's lesson, we're going to kind of tie all those things together. How does reading mysteries help with reading any kind of fiction? So let's think for a minute about mysteries. When you first get your mystery book, you're trying to figure out what's the crime or what's the mystery and who are the crime solvers. You have kind of a piece of the puzzle, but you don't see the big picture yet. And I want you to think about when you were a kid. I'm wondering if you maybe did something called a dot to dot. So we have kind of some clues to what the picture is, but we don't know what the whole picture is until we connect the dots. And connecting those clues to solve the mystery are kind of like connecting the dots. Now this one's a pretty easy one.
Shh, come here. If you didn't get it, it's a duck.
This dot to dot was not that difficult to figure out, and you may have read a mystery that you didn't think was very hard to figure out. But as you grow as a reader, the mysteries will get more difficult, more like this dot to dot.
It's like getting a mystery book and taking a look at the front cover and the blurb on the back. You get kind of an idea, but you're not sure. Then as you learn a little bit more about the mystery and you start finding suspects and clues, you come up with some ideas. Is this a weird little guy with a goatee and big eyes and big ears? And as you read on, you start to discover that wasn't what it is at all. It's more of looking like an animal now, maybe a horse. And by the time you get to the end of the mystery, the clues all connect, the suspects and red herrings have been eliminated, and you finally figure out the solution. In this case, we found a giraffe.
All right, to connect mystery to fiction, I thought it would be a good idea to look at our anchor chart. So I came here in a very empty classroom to find our anchor chart. So we're going to take a closer look at this and see how we can connect mystery and fiction.
These things should sound familiar. They were kind of the big ideas throughout our mystery unit. The first one we had was the readers of mystery ask, what is the mystery here? Well, in fiction, we just ask, what is the problem here? In mystery, who's the crime solver? In fiction, who's the main character? Who are we going to follow through that story mountain? In mystery, we pay attention to clues. And in fiction, we pay attention to details. The details in a fiction story are just like clues in a mystery. Moving over here, in a mystery, you predict, drawing on the suspect's motives and opportunities. We are going to predict as well in fiction, but we're going to look at suspects' thoughts and actions. Oops, sorry, actions fell on the floor. So predict based on characters' thoughts and actions. We kind of get a character trait, figure out what kind of person that character is, and get to know what they might do next. This one's not going to change in any reading. We take action and use strategies when parts get tricky. Over here, mysteries, or mystery readers, they collaborate with a co-detective. In reading fiction, you just collaborate with a partner. While reading and learning at home, you may have collaborated with mom or dad or grandma or brother or sister. It can be anybody. All right. Here's another one that's going to apply to all of your reading. While you're reading, you should be pausing to retell. Or maybe the next day before you start reading the new chapter, you would stop and kind of go through what happened in the story before you move on. All right, we're coming to the end. Readers of mystery, think about how mystery books tend to go. All right, and in fiction, you're just going to think about how fiction books tend to go. They follow a story mountain. We know that in mysteries, you're going to have a couple other elements like looking out for red herring clues, or maybe a twist at the end. So we're going to cover that one. In fiction, you're not really going to have a red herring clue. All right, so there it is. With just a couple quick little changes in Post-its, you should be able to see the connection of mysteries to fiction.
For practice today, we are going to use a fiction book that we should all be familiar with, Stone Fox. We read this in the beginning of the year. Now, some of you may have forgotten some of the stuff, or maybe you don't remember it as clearly as you'd like to. I have a short video clip for you from a 1987 movie version of Stone Fox. And I'm going to have you watch that clip, and it'll bring us up to the part that I want to talk about and hopefully refresh your memory. There's one difference from the book to the movie that you'll notice, and that is that Searchlight in the movie version is named Morgan. So, enjoy.
Come on, Morgan. Doc Smith. Come on. Come on, Morgan. How is he?
Willie, it may be a long time before we know if he's going to get better.
Well, he's moving his hands now.
He may stop there, or he may get better. With a stroke, you just can't tell.
Grandpa will get better. I know him.
Willie, people in town would like to help you.
No. Grandpa says we should take care of ourselves.
Willie, you're just a 12-year-old boy.
I can take care of him. He took care of me when my mom and papa died. Now I'm gonna take care of him.
But what if something should happen to you?
Oh,
And I know you only have enough hay to last you another month. What are you going to do then?
I'll find a way. Grandpa and me gotta stay together.
Where are you going to get the money to buy more feed, hmm?
I don't know. But I will. You'll see.
You're a good boy, Willie. Here, this is for you.
What is it?
Some fruits and vegetables I put up. And this is a tin of cookies I made. Boys need sweets now and then, don't they?
Yes, ma'am.
And Willie, you call on me if you need any help, hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
I was running out of everything.
It's a good thing the storm went.
We'll go to Lester first.
Wait here, Morgan.
Excuse me. May I help, young man, huh?
My name is Willie. I'd like to see Mr. Foster.
The bank president?
Yes, sir.
An interesting take on the book, huh? Not quite how I pictured Searchlight or Little Willie. Anyhow, hopefully it gave you enough of a refresher to remember what happened in the book. And if you remember, right at the end, or when Little Willie was heading into the bank, there was a picture in the text. And that's where we asked you to stop reading and to make a prediction about what you thought Little Willie was going to do. Here's the picture. Do you remember making a prediction? What is it that you thought Little Willie was going to do? There was a lot of great predictions on what Little Willie was going to do at the bank that day. One of which was that maybe he was going to ask for a loan. Banks loan money and banks have the money. So perhaps he was just going to see if the bank would loan him the money to enter the race. A majority of the kids thought that Little Willie was going to take his college savings out of the bank, even though Grandfather and Doc Smith had told him not to. And they were right. How were they able to make that prediction, just know what Little Willie was going to do that day before he even stepped into the bank? Well, they were good readers. They used the characters' thoughts and actions, like clues, to tell us what kind of character we had. All right, so the clues that we got about Little Willie told us that he was hardworking, he was determined, he was confident, right? He knew he was going to win that money, so he didn't have a problem taking out that college savings, even though they had told him not to. So a good crossover strategy from mystery to fiction. All right, I think we are ready to move on to the best part of reading lessons, your response.
The best part? What is she talking about?
I know it's not the best part, but it's a great time for you to show your learning and your thoughts to your teacher. So today, I would like you to choose fiction for your reading. It can be a chapter book, tumble book, or just find something fun to read on Epic or Storia. However, when you read your fiction book today, I'd like you to read it as you would a mystery book. Keep your eyes and mind open to details that might act like clues in your story. When you find a detail that acts like a clue, stop and take note, because that's what we want you to respond about today. We want you to tell us what that detail was, and then explain how it acted like a clue. Some clue-like details you're likely to find while reading today are details that hint at character traits, what kind of character you have, character emotions, how your character or characters might be feeling, or you might find a detail that helps you predict what might happen next. So if you are stuck, try to focus on one of those. All right, and here is my sample response to our earlier reading with Stone Fox. I started off just stating what I read. I read Stone Fox. Nice, easy way to start. Then we need to list the detail that acted like a clue in our reading. So in my reading today, I read a detail about Little Willie going to the bank in his nice blue suit. Good. So what did that detail, why was it a clue? What did it tell me? What did it make me go, oh? And here's what it made me think. It made me think that he is going to get his college savings out of the bank and enter the race. So my response is only 3 sentences.
So I'm gonna add one more at the bottom because I was also thinking, so look at my very last sentence on the bottom. I said, I think he is dressing like a grown-up because he is making a grown-up decision. So I added 2 thoughts on mine.
All right, good luck on your response today. Looking forward to reading some great ones.